Hi, I'm Luke. Today on Out of Darts, you may notice that my blaster wall is empty and it's a completely different location. We have moved into a small warehouse where the business is now running. My home was just completely maxed out and we were just bursting at the seams, totally running out of space, and it became absolutely impossible to scale the business or carry any more products. So after our move, we made it priority to build a new spot and a new little mini studio here to shoot in. So today I thought I would show you all of the blasters I'm choosing to put up on that wall and tell you a little bit about each one while I go through them. Let's get going. This was the first Hurricane I ever built. This blaster represented something like 150 hours of trying to figure out how to find a fan and make this thing work. It is heavy, bulky, and not very good, but I did get it back from Drac after he did that great video, and sentimentally it is my sort of starting place in Nerf, so it definitely gets a spot. Then we have the current edition Hurricane, and this is my current playing blaster. I played with this last weekend. It's been well loved, well used. It's seen probably 5,000 or 6,000 rounds, and it's just a trooper. And I still love playing with this blaster. It's a lot of fun having so much ammo. This holds 85 rounds without having to reload. Since we're going on Hurricanes and Zeus in general, this is a work in process here, or in progress, that Caliburn painted for me as a trade a while back. And he did this beautiful automotive paint job and a really cool extension here, which he 3D designed and printed and then painted. So this can take 380 motors without any sort of spacer, and even in the small shell form factor. So this is going to be a Hurricane that I'm going to build with some glow-in-the-dark ammo and UV LEDs inside. So this represents a future project that I'm looking forward to getting done. Next up, one of my current favorite 3D printed blasters, the Caliburn. Now this is an older generation version that Slug himself printed and built. I actually bought this when I was writing the book because I really wanted to feature Slug because I admire the work he does and I think he does fantastic work. I'm currently printing my own of the current gen with the Talon takedown magwell, and so this will become my sort of secondary one, but it sort of represents the next project and some love to the Springer world because I do love these things. Next up is a beautiful brassed Hammershot custom swirl painted by my friends Greg and Rachel. I love this blaster so much because it is so pretty, but I almost have a hard time running around with it because every time I run around with a really pretty blaster, I tend to ding it up and destroy it. So it's definitely a beautiful one to end up on the wall. This is the rival Hera, which I really like. It represents to me the future of where I see Nerf going, and that is a lot of the new products I'm offering, like the MOSFET for this. There's going to be a lot more coming later, and the Hera's just a really fun blaster in general. I think it's got a nice compact form factor, really fun to play with. I played with this at the game on Sunday, just a few days ago, and really had a blast. You can't talk about 3D printed products without talking about FDL. The FDL3 is just the Cadillac of blasters, and that's not a good comparison because I'm not really in love with Cadillacs or anything, but I think this is a beautiful blaster. It is a top-notch performer. It's done me really well in multiple games, including the competitive games at Ragnarok last year, also the regular HVZ, and it's just a phenomenal blaster all around. Jesse has now split this, so there's front halves and back halves, and you can get a whole slew of options. I think he's even got a rival version coming. He's got a 40 meg worker meg version as well, and then a semi-automatic version with a different style pusher. And I love seeing the progress of this, and his printing is phenomenal, so that goes on the wall. You can't Nerf without doing goofy things once in a while. This is the Blow Strife. It is a blaster, if you haven't seen my old video, that has, this was the 5x7, so it's got 5 shots, 7 rounds each. You use air power to blow them through a Strife flywheel cage. This is not applicable at all in today's modding because our blasters shoot so much faster. When this came out, the fastest shooting Rapid Strike that I had seen was about 5 rounds a second, so pretty paltry compared to this can shoot all 7 in about a quarter second. And so that was just something I wanted to do because I thought it was interesting to see where this could go. Now, future, there is some great work that has been done online where using coils and a blower to shoot short darts through here, and that's something I definitely want to look at in the future. And so this is going on the wall as a reminder to try goofy things once in a while and to try new things and to revisit this idea. Next up is the Chronos. Now, the Chronos is just a phenomenal blaster. It takes a spring load, a K25, K26, or one of my custom variants, and it is a very high performer. You can get 140, almost 150 FPS out of that. It's super sleek, it's very holsterable, and this is one I painted for the Nerf modification guide, and I'm really proud of this paint job. It took a long time, and it's not perfect because, let's face it, no paint job is ever perfect. Even the most expert painters will know some little blemish that maybe you can't find, but they know where it is. And so I love doing this. It was a multi-step process that I feature in the book, and it kind of represents the book for me because the book was a lot of stepping out of my comfort zone and learning a lot and just a lot of hard work and a lot of sleepless nights. Then we have another goofy blaster. This was a drain blaster prototype that shoots 10 balls at a time, has 5 tubes. It's a little bit like the blow Strife, except it's much more effective because it's effectively a shotgun blast. Now, this is going on the wall because I'm not done with this project. I had to set it aside because there's been a lot going on and a lot of projects to work on, but I'm definitely coming back to it because it's way too much fun, and it's also sort of unique because it is an actual scattergun or shotgun. Then we have the Jupiter. The Jupiter is still one of my favorite blasters that I've worked on, and it also represents a great working relationship with the designer Tark because he did all the final modeling on this, and it's been a really fun process collaborating and coming up with ideas and having that person to bounce ideas off and work through problems together. And it was really a collaborative process getting to this point, which was a lot of fun in my opinion. And this also sort of represents the future. We are going to make a lot more products that go with this. The Proton Pack is coming out this year. The goal is in time for End War builds, and I'm just really excited to see where people take this because it's a lot of fun. This is Farina. Farina was a bullpup blaster that was flywheel and a precursor to Jupiter. Now, I didn't pursue this exact project for a number of reasons because we're kind of rolling in some of these features to the Jupiter blaster, but this was my first attempt at making a really, more advanced blaster. It was brushless, or had brushless blower, and so it was a big learning step, and it's kind of a reminder that I want to come back to another kind of high-end blaster someday. And I still just love the ergonomics of this thing. Bet you can't guess what this one is. Being the most popular blaster, it's popular for a reason. The majority of the products on the shop are catered to this blaster. It's compact, it's ergonomic, it feels great, it's easy to paint relatively, and it just has a whole slew of upgrades you can do. So this is my next personal build. Inside, I've got a pair of Fang revamped and a 950 milliamp 2S graphene, the OOD one, and the cage is a Heston Systems Typhoon cage. Now, I still have to finish a few things here and some paint touch-ups to cut open the battery door, so this is definitely still being worked on, but I was excited to do a trade with Nerm over at Nobicon in the Bay Area in Napa, and he painted this for me. And lastly, for now, the oldest blaster that I own. I owned a red version of this, the maroon version of this, when I was a kid, and I recently was able to get my hands on one thanks to Triple B, so I could photograph it for the book, and it even had some darts. These are like 20 years old, nearly anyway. I loved this one as a kid. It does not fire very far. You're lucky to get 10 feet or something. I don't know what that is, 25 FPS or something, but it sort of represents just childhood in general, and I love it, and my hands have gotten a lot bigger. This wall is going to be a constant evolving wall of projects, blasters from previous videos, and a few Easter eggs along the way. I know a few of you have picked out a whole mess of hints and Easter eggs and teasers in my previous wall, and now you know that's a thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really excited to film a lot more content and get a lot more videos out to you. I have a whole bunch of tutorials slated, and I'm aiming to get out 5 to 6 videos a month, hopefully more if we get real busy. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm out of darts.